Okie doke, there we have it. It is now 1 o'clock on the West Coast Pacific Time, 4 o'clock Eastern. Thank you for being here. And I hope everybody can see my screen. What I wanted to do today is, well, first off, I had an announcement that was forthcoming last we spoke and has now been finalized. So I'm going to be doing some work with ClickBank, and I wanted to just again, although we had Andrew answer some questions last time, and for those of you who weren't on last week's webinar, you may want to go check that out. But what's happening here is this, and Andrew, I'm going to unmute you shortly to help us with some things here. But the thing that's happening for me is now with this new association that I have with ClickBank, I'm going to be, we've signed an agreement, and I'm going to be working with them on some things, and so I'm going to ask Andrew, because I haven't really done that much ClickBank work on my own. So I'm going to have Andrew just help me to go through a few things. So Andrew, I'm going to unmute you now, and let's tell people we may have to go back and do some things here. Hold on. Okay, so Andrew, can you hear me?
Yep. Hey,
Good.
everyone.
Good. Well, thanks for being here again and taking the time out of your day to do this. What I wanted to do is, rather than you and I having a private session where we talk about things, and Dave, I'm going to mute you just because I'm getting some, unless you want to mute yourself until you want to talk, hearing a little bit of noise on your side.
Go ahead. I'll mute it.
Why don't you just mute it? Yeah. I'm still hearing stuff there. Okay. So what I wanted to do is this, Andrew. What I'd like to do is ask you all the questions that I would have for you when setting up some of my own sites and things that I'm doing that I want to sell, some products that I want to sell on ClickBank, and just have you walk me through it. Now, this is something we can sort of do, I guess with some notes on the screen here, but let's just try it. So I have now spent some time at the conference that you guys put on, that ClickBank put on in New York, and I had some additional conversations with the folks at Wishlist, and it is now my understanding, and I don't know if Dave knows this yet, but it's my understanding that now Wishlist has, like we talked about last week, has set it up so that if you have, and I'm just gonna give you the example here, make it really easy. If you had 10 pages that you wanted protected, and you were then to say, and put each of those, you have each one of those pages is set up with a different and separate amount or bunch of content on it. Let's say, one of them has a video, one of them has an audio, one of them has a PDF, whatever it is, and you wanted to try and sell all of those, access to all those pages, either individually, one at a time, numbers 1 through 10, or if you wanted to sell a bundle of number 1, 3, and 5. Wishlist has now set it up, and Dave, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they've now set it up so that you can do exactly what we were discussing before. Dave, are you aware of that? Dave Hamilton? I guess Dave is muted now. So it is apparently set up that way. So this is not your concern, Andrew, but my concern is, okay, so now we've got 10 products that we want to sell in one manner, shape, or form. So Andrew, what is my first thing that I need to do? I've got these products, they're set up on a protected page, they're ready to go. What's my first step?
You bet. It's pretty simple. Log on to clickbank.com.
Okay, so let's go here and let's do this. And I guess I can probably log on to my. You know what? Last time I couldn't figure out my my login stuff. So again, we don't have a dummy account, do we?
We do not, unfortunately.
We should.
But for someone that hasn't already set up an account, just to the left of where your mouse is, there is the sign up link.
Yeah.
So you would go there and click that, and it's just a couple of questions. It'll take you 3 to 4 minutes to fill out. It's
Okay.
basically your contact information, as well as you get to pick a nickname, an account nickname. We don't have account numbers. Everything's referred to as a nickname. So that's probably the most important thing on that page that you'll do. Once you fill out that information, agree to the terms and conditions, you're in. We don't ever charge. Anybody can set up an account. You can have as many accounts as you want.
Okay, so now
So that's always the
let's
first step.
let's talk about this a second. You just said that we are going to set up as many accounts as we want. Why would we want to have more than one account? So if we're getting started, why not just have one account?
Yeah, great question. So let me first address that you can have multiple products within one account. You can have up to 500, I believe. However, there are numerous information marketers that may have set up different brands, or they want to be able to have a new nickname for each product item if they're selling different products. That's how affiliates recognize products and look for them. And so there's a myriad of reasons why you want to do that. Most importantly, each account that you have has a hop link target URL. It's a landing page. That's where affiliates direct traffic to. That can only be one page at one time.
Now, here's my question, Andrew. My problem is this. As I understand it, though, if you set up multiple accounts, the problem that you have is ClickBank makes it so that you have to maintain certain minimums in order to not have you get your money sort of like eaten up in various kinds of fees. So is that an issue?
No. The way our payment structure works is that we do have a payment threshold that can be dropped all the way down to $10. We do hold a reserve when we go to issue a payment. Generally, that's set at 10%, and that is paid out on a rolling 12-week basis.
What about, though, if I don't do any business and I have money in this account, I don't do any business in there, and what happened to me, I think, was that I had money sitting in my ClickBank account, but because of inactivity, that money slowly disappeared by virtue of fees that I was charged. What's up with that?
There is an inactivity fee that is it is assessed to the account, and I'm going to pull up the specific number right now. I believe it's after a couple of months. It's usually not an issue because most times when it occurs, someone has set their threshold or has not changed it, and they don't realize it.
Okay, what do I have to set my threshold at, or above or below, to make sure? Because this happened to me, and that was one of the things that got me sort of like, I went in, I remember I was in my account, and I did very little with it, and I went back and all my money was gone. So what did I do wrong? What should I have done differently?
Great question. So the every account, when you open it up, starts with an automatic threshold of $100. That's just the default. You can lower that to $10. That would be the minimum that you can go down to. Most sales, whether you're promoting your product or someone else's, one sale is going to incur a commission greater than $10. So it's usually not an issue. The inactivity fee, just to speak to that, basically reading verbatim from our websites, accounts with a positive balance but no earnings for an extended period of time are considered dormant. Dormant accounts are charged a $1 fee per pay period after 90 days of no earnings.
A $1 fee, $1 fee per pay period. What does pay period mean then?
Basically, that is another term that you can set. You can be paid out on a weekly, every 2 weeks, monthly basis.
Okay.
Or also there's that threshold. Some people say don't pay me unless I hit 10,000, whatever.
Got it. Okay. So then what we're going to do here is the only time that this becomes an issue is if you're not very active. So we're going to assume then that everybody here that is going through the webinar with us is going to do a sufficient amount of activity that's not going to be an issue, because we can mess around with our thresholds and make sure that we're doing something that's fine. So I'm good with that. So you've set up your account, you've created sort of your account name, And again, you can have multiple accounts so that you can put certain products into certain accounts and other products into other accounts. For example, in my case, I mean, I've got one of my JV partners is Avish, and Avish has this site right here, Andrew. This is our site, the Speaking Expert site, that Avish and I put together materials for speakers. So let's talk specifically now about some of the things with Avish. Avish, you on the line?
I'm here.
Okay, so let's ask Andrew some questions, and you can either take some notes or just listen to this again so that we can actually do some implementation here. So why don't you tell Andrew, I mean, what we have, and again, I'd rather you walk him through it. We have a total of, we have sort of our main sort of speaking product, which consists of about 8 components, right?
Yeah, I looked it up. It's 7 sections with a total of 50 MP3 tracks.
A total of 50 MP3 tracks. So here's, Andrew, what we have is we've divided it up, and give Andrew an idea of what the sort of the title headings are to each of those sections, Avish.
That's a good question. It's been a little while. So all different aspects of the speaking business. So one is around, in fact, let me just
pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we did is we divided this up. There are 50 total audio tracks, Andrew, that Avish and I discussed how people can get into and succeed in the speaking business. And we put them into 7 different categories so that I think that each one, let's assume it came out about even, each of the 7 categories had about 7 audio tracks, which would have made 49, but we have a total of 50. That's not quite right. But so what are some of these sections, Avish? Did you find that?
It's getting started. Professional speaker marketing, speaking mechanics, getting booked in different venues, doing your own events, selling products from the platform, information products.
Okay, so then, so then here's my question, Andrew. So Avish and I have in our venture on Speaking Expert, we have all of these different sections, and actually, if we click on the products, we can actually see this, right, Avish?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to click on products, and I'm going to click on more info for the speaking.
For Speaking Expert series,
yeah.
Click on more info.
Click on more info.
And each one is sold independently. Is that correct?
That's what I mean. Now
this is the teleseminar, which is a different one. The one we were talking about was the next one down on the product page.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. My bad. So. Well, here's our question. Let's assume that we're going to cut this. Now, you see what I'm doing here? We have Module 1, getting started in the speaking business, okay? Module 2, presentation skills advice. Module 3, top 5 ways professional speakers get business. And let's assume, Andrew, that we were going to separate these into 7 different products that we would sell on ClickBank, as well as our 8th product would be buy the whole set.
Okay.
Would that be, I mean, what's your advice? Does that make sense for us to do it that way? We've got quite a bit of good meaty information in there. Would it make sense for us to split these up into different pieces or sell it only as a whole?
What is the price point if you buy all of it at one time?
Avish?
Right now, I believe it's set at $147.
I would probably recommend leaving it as is and not piecing it. I always go to the affiliate network and what's their frame of thought. The first thing they're always going to consider is what am I going to earn per sale? And then secondly, do I have a list that I can promote this to? And that would be responsive. Is it worth my time? I would probably keep it because this is a good price point. We can certainly accommodate that. And if you're paying out 50%, or I don't know what the commission percentage is, that's a pretty decent paycheck for an affiliate, and they're going to be able to hit their EPCs, and that's something that's really important.
Wait, hold on. You got jargon there nobody knows. EPCs.
Earnings per click. Forgive me. That is basically a rough measure of all of your paid promotions, money that you're spending on advertising to drive sales, basically, and then what do you actually earn? What actually sales are accrued, and that's broken down to a little metric called earnings per click.
Now, Andrew, given the fact that Avish and I are trying to not only sell this front-end product, but we have a number of back-end products and services that we provide people. We're very flexible on what the price of the front-end product should be, as well as we're very flexible on what the commission given to ClickBank affiliates would be. So here's my question, and Avish, please chime in if I leave anything out here. My question would be, number one, if we could price this at any price point, and let's assume, as we know it is, great information. We have 7 sections. We're pricing at $147. Do you think it might be better for us to A, move the price down to just under $100, and B, move the commission from 50 to 75%, or some combination of the two?
If you have that flexibility, I would always say pay a higher commission, because that's going to incentivize the affiliates more, because they're never going to know what the price was or is. They just look at their earnings. Have you split tested the multiple price points or at different price points to see what converts best?
Well, of course.
That would always be my recommendation.
That would be much too intelligent. You're speaking to Avish and Fred.
Thank you very much.
I'll speak for myself, Avish.
So that would be my feedback to you on that is drive a little traffic to both. Look at your conversion ratings.
Now, are you saying then we're going to price test? Can we do that within ClickBank, and will ClickBank give us that data as to what's working?
Sure. Yeah. We can get you approved with more than one price point for the same product. Now, I always say that within reason. So if you submit a $37 ebook and then you also want to try and sell it for $370, we're probably going to ask you some questions and say, is the value really there at $370?
To which Avish and I would always respond, yes, of course, it's ours.
Oh, well then, obviously we'd give it to you. Yeah, so no, we can't accommodate for that. We have a robust analytics dashboard within every account that breaks down who's driving traffic to your offers, and then with that individual customer, how far are they getting in your funnel? Did they just come to the sales page, the landing page, and leave? Did they get to the order form? Did they have a successful order form? And then we take a look at the upsells if you have an upsell flow, and then continue to break that down as well. So we have a pretty good analytics dashboard that gives you that information to really decipher what campaign's better.
Avish, I'll let you in here after one more question. So now, Andrew, can we test more than 2 price points? Could we do 147, 97, and 77?
Yeah, I think so. We have others that have done it. And when you're going lower, that's really not a bigger problem. The thing that we always really start with and are concerned about is what's the top end price point, and is the value there?
Yeah, and I mean, Avish, I'll let you again get in here. I have no problems with us pricing this at $147. So because it's great, it's really packed with information. Avish, any questions on your side?
I had some questions about the logistics of setting it up, so I don't know if we want to move into that.
Go. Yeah, let's talk about it.
So, Fred, if you click back to the product,
okay.
So I went into ClickBank since the last call, and I was going to try setting something up, and I just wanted to be sure. So there's the place in there for put the URL of the sales page and put the URL of the download page. Mm-hmm. So, first question is, for the sales page, is it enough to take an existing sales page, create a second version for ClickBank, and just change the order link to the ClickBank link? Or
you bet.
It doesn't need to be anything beyond that. It could be, but
that's
it doesn't have to be.
Correct. We're not an exclusive channel. We don't require you to be an exclusive channel.
Now the other thing,
ahead.
Avish, could you just, Andrew, quickly address the issue of the concept of the hybrid sales page versus all text or all video?
Yeah, I think we discussed that a little while ago, and you may have to refresh my memory, but there's really 3 types of sales pages that I see as overwhelming majority of our vendors are selling. The first is going to be just a straight text sales page, just straight copy, maybe some images, but that's about it. The second one is going to be a really all video sales letter. and that's it. It'll have a call to action, a delayed call to action, and then the third one will be a hybrid, like Fred said, where it usually leads with the video VSL at the top, and then it'll have supporting call to actions below that as well.
Jargon VSL.
Video sales letter. Forgive me. So it's basically a video version of the straight copy sales letter.
Gotcha. And so, Avish, go ahead and continue. So basically what I was trying to get clarification on is, and I think, Andrew, you and I, when we talked about this in person, we can obviously test different versions of this, but it sort of, my gut tells me that option 3, a combination of the hybrid of both video and sales copy, would be most effective. But that's just, that's based on gut feel. That's not based on data.
And one quick point, just to throw this out there, anytime that there's a video used on a sales letter, ClickBank does require that you also submit a transcript for that video, and that's part of our compliance efforts to make sure that we have a hard copy to back up the video.
Okay, Avish, continue.
Okay, and then on the, well, 2 questions. First one's the download page. Can that be the same download page that customers who get there through our own merchant account are going to, or does it need to be a separate one for ClickBank?
It could be. You would need to add at least 2 required disclaimers for that. One that informs the customer they will be charged by ClickBank, not by the individual vendor. And then we have a required disclaimer that goes on each sales page and thank you page, and it basically states that ClickBank is a registered trademark of yada yada yada. So you could do that. Most vendors just copy and paste.
Sorry to interrupt. Is there a reason why we want to keep it the same, or is this just a time and effort? In other words, you don't perceive that if you just do a copy and paste of your HTML code, it should be pretty easy to recreate on a separate page on the site.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. I just, from a, like you said, just from how much effort is needed, and then maintenance. If something changes, you got to change the whole thing.
Andrew, would you suggest we do one or the other option on that?
I'd recommend to keep everything separate to copy and paste, but that's just my perspective.
And so why do you say that?
It's easier if you want to change down the road. You have that flexibility to do so on your own with your own page. We do ask anytime that you're changing a page in the ClickBank funnel that we're notified, so we can re-review that as part of our ongoing compliance effort. So I would recommend keeping it separate. There may also be confusion if you have the same one and you have our required disclaimer that you're going to be billed by clkbank.com. I think that would throw off the customer if they're coming through your merchant account in a separate funnel.
Yeah. Now, question for you, Andrew. That what you said there, it suggested that if there are changes made to either the sales or the download page, that you would like to hear from the vendor, from us in this case. But
that's correct.
Do you have a system that notifies you when a change has been made? So in other words, is that a suggestion or is that a mandatory requirement?
That's something that we ask every vendor to do.
Okay,
that's correct.
I mean, you ask every vendor to do that. That doesn't sound like it's being necessarily policed, though.
It is, and we do have various metrics. We do compliance reviews. Forgive me, I'm not going to give away all of our secrets.
I gotcha.
But as about a year ago, we really put some teeth into our compliance and cleaning up our marketplace, and we mean that. We want to make sure that we have the best possible marketplace, and so we do have a scheduled re-review period for ongoing compliance.
When we make a change to either the sales or the download page, and I assume it holds for both, what kind of a turnaround do we have to notify you in advance, and how long are we sort of put into limbo, or can we use the old one until we make the change and get the approval?
Yeah, great question. Standard turnaround is 3 to 5 business days. Anyone here on this webinar, I certainly invite you to reach out to me directly, and I can certainly help you going forward and try to expedite that as quick as possible. So, like Avish, you mentioned you were looking at it. Feel free to send your ClickBank information, and I can I can flag it on my end, so if anybody has questions internally or externally, we can give a one point of contact to kind of save your sanity.
Did I spell this right,
It's normally
Andrew?
really cool. Yep.
Okay. And Avish, go ahead. Sorry to keep interrupting.
No problem. I'm used to it. The other, and I apologize if you covered this already and I missed it. I remember back in the day when I looked into doing ClickBank, there was this whole thing about how to capture the information of the buyer, you would need to put an additional kind of bridge page from the ClickBank thank you page to capture the email. Do we still need to do that to be able to add these people to our own lists?
Great point. Thanks for bringing that up. That's the one value prop that if you're using Amazon or the iTunes iBook store, in our analytics dashboard, we break everything down in real time. You have customer name, customer email address. You have the what they purchased, when they purchased it. So you've got all of that. The customer is yours. ClickBank doesn't retain it. We don't market to them. That's for you, and we support that.
Question for you, Andrew, on that. My question is, have you set up, and again, I'm going to sound like I know more than I do if this actually is said right. Do you have an API that interfaces between your system and Web Marketing Magic, which is my name for One Shopping Cart, to make this an automatic process?
You bet. I'll see you that and raise you 6 of them. So we actually have 6 individual APIs as well as an instant notification URL, so you can send an HTML post immediately at the time of purchase to your server. In addition to that, we also do old school email notification you can set up for every purchase that comes through.
Now you got to
make it very accessible.
Sorry, you got to realize that, you see, I went to a state school. Avish went to an Ivy League school, so he may be better prepared to understand this information. So Avish, so that means that, from my understanding of Andrew's answer to the question, is that yes, ClickBank will capture the email and customer data, and it can automatically be put into Web Marketing Magic with no additional effort on our part, I think, right?
You may need to do some custom coding to be able to interface with our API, but the tools and resources are there for you.
Avish, does that sound difficult?
I won't know till I get in there, but worst case, it would be every time it's a sale, you have to manually do it until we get that automated. Right?
Yeah, but I think that once set up once, it's done forever, right?
Yep.
Avish, now again, I don't think this is going to be too complicated, and since we have an in with Andrew, we can do some good arm twisting to get some help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have sample API code and everything as well, so it's not like you're having to pay someone to manually write this.
And for other people that are on the webinar, let me just clarify what's going on here, which is that what we're talking about is if we get 300 people, let that be our biggest problem, tomorrow ordering this product, we want to make sure and not have to manually input their customer data into our master database, because that would be a pain in the neck. So it behooves us to figure out the quickest and easiest way to be able to get that customer data into our database itself. So that's what's important there. So Avish, what else are you missing in order to get this set up? What more do you need?
Just to verify, you had said, I think last week, that we can get from ClickBank, from the website, a piece of Java or something that'll prevent non-purchasers from going to that page?
Nope, I never said that. Yeah, we do have that. If you want to, easiest way to find it, clickbank.com/help. That's our help center. If you type in the search box link security script, or there's a link on the main page that's named protecting your product, we do have that available.
Okay. And just to verify, make sure I can run off and start doing this immediately, is if we've got an existing sales page, like we have a URL, unleashingyourinnercomedian.com, to create the ClickBank version of that, I could just create a subpage that is //
Yep.
Okay. That's easy enough.
Yeah.
The one thing we like to just make sure is that you do have a standard separate sales page. Affiliates don't really they don't get really happy when they see multiple checkout buttons and they know they're only going to get paid out through one of them.
Yep. Yeah, no, I understand. That makes sense. So Avish, what when listening to everything that Andrew's just told all of us, what seems to be where do you think that I can see, at least in my mind from what he described, the only real sort of tough thing here is the API and making sure that's set up to add names to the database. Is that where you see the possible problem being?
Yeah, and I don't see that being a problem because that's not going to stop us from starting.
Yeah.
I see that being the most challenging piece, but not a problem.
And Andrew, how difficult? I mean, is this? You said you had 6 different APIs. Since we're dealing with a vendor that I'm sure you guys have worked with in terms of creating these scripts, do you anticipate this being a problem at all?
No, as far as getting the information, is that the question?
Well, I mean, we want to make this happen. How difficult is it going to be to do what is necessary to get those names of people who order these products on ClickBank to get them into our database? Do you anticipate this being difficult?
Yeah, I mean, we put kind of a disclaimer on our help center for the API that you do need to have do need to be an experienced programmer to do the coding necessary for the automation. Most of our people will just pay a developer. It's pretty standard plug and play. But if you haven't done it before or you're not used to coding or don't code, you will need that outside help.
Now, let me interrupt to just say that not only is Avish an Ivy League grad, he is also a programmer.
Oh, then no sweat.
All right.
This is a walk in the park then. Yeah, on that clickbank.com/help, you can also type in API, and we have all that information there. When I say 6 APIs, each one does a little different thing. So we have an orders API, which is the information that you're going to be looking for. We have a shipping API, which is for physical products, customers that want to do that. We have a tickets API, which does customer service requests. So you don't have to log into the ClickBank account. You could do that through your own server and your own dashboard if you want. They each do a little different thing. Is my whole point.
Good. That sounds great to me. Now, Avish, maybe I'm thinking this is. I mean, it sounds like we shouldn't have too big of a problem doing this, should we?
I don't think so. I mean, it's been a little while since I've been in the programming game, and it depends on what language it's in, but I could probably figure that out. And like I said, I think certainly by our next call, I would assume, provided other than the turnaround time on getting approval, I would think.
And I can help expedite that too.
What's that?
I can help expedite that too.
Okay.
I mean, normal turnaround time is 3 to 5 business days. I try to work to get it closer to 2 to 3 business days.
Yeah, and
okay. I mean, I think by next webinar, we should certainly have everything in the system ready to go.
Oh no, I was hoping that we'd already grossed $3,000 or $4,000.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to tell you about that.
Well, Monday is a federal holiday, though. As well,
oh well, then that changes everything. Let's see. So Avish, now, so again, to review, we have a sales page. We send people to the sales page that's specific for ClickBank. They then go there, and hopefully many of them order. When they order, they're taken to the download page, which delivers the product to them, and is a protected page that only ClickBank users can see, and has some kind of a mechanism on there to not allow others to find or get on that page. Once they then get their order into the system, the API then, once set up, takes that information, the customer information, and plugs it into our database for future follow-up and marketing to those individuals and the like. Do I have that correct? Andrew?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Avish.
No.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that okay? So I just want to make sure that I've got this down myself, because I'm very good at playing Mr. Stupid, Andrew, and I want to make sure that everybody understands exactly how this works. So, once you've created a great product, which we have, then you need to create some great copy and or video sales copy, put up that page, make this happen, and then have back-end products and services, obviously, to market those people. So now, Andrew, one of the things, why would people, give me reasons why we would want to keep people within the ClickBank system for future marketing of products. In other words, we've gotten that name of a person who has bought one of our products into our database. Why would we want to continue to use ClickBank as the place from which we make sales to those people, given the fact that we now have to pay you a little bit of money each time. Why don't you talk about the why on that and the how much we're losing doing it that way, and why it might make sense to do so?
Sure. Okay, I'll go at it from two different perspectives. First, the customer perspective. When they hit a ClickBank order form, I think that there's some brand credibility there. There's the integrity indicators with the different security images and stuff that we have. So I think there's value, peace of mind on the customer's end. From the vendor's end, we provide a lot of automation that I think helps simplify your life. For example, in every jurisdiction that you sell a product in, and we have daily sales in 200 countries, 33 currencies, we take care of all the tax reporting for you in every jurisdiction. That's a huge burden not to have to worry about. We also help you out with assistance in customer support. So we have a phone center here in Boise, Idaho. We also are available via email as well as an online chat for all of your customers. If they are trying to reach out to you, they have a problem with your products, need technical support, we can direct them to you. They have questions on a refund or whatever. We can help provide some of that, so you're not always on call with your business. Let's see, other things that we can. Oh, we're also in 6 languages, so we enable you to be able to take your product that may be English only, and we have a global bestseller program where we can match you up with an international partner for translation and language localization, and then we actually support that here on the platform in English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Portuguese. So you can be able to establish an additional revenue stream that doesn't compete where you may not have been able to do that before. So there's a lot of value I would see in addition to our functionality like one-click upsells and things.
Avish,
that also means you're help you monetize a little bit.
Yeah, sounds good. Avish, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, which piece? I mean, all the support and everything sounds great.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Okay, and Andrew, so by doing it through ClickBank, so what I'm basically asking is, okay, ClickBank helped us to make the sale of our initial front-end product. Now, given the fact that we now own that customer's name and contact information, if we were to go around ClickBank and not use ClickBank for any additional sales of products and services, you've now detailed a number of reasons why it makes sense to stay within the ClickBank system to do so. My question to you is, how much are we paying for that privilege?
You bet. So we have 2 different pricing structures. If it's a one-time purchase, non-recurring, ClickBank's going to charge 7.5% plus $1. There is no additional monthly annual fees. If it's a recurring purchase, you're charging on a regular basis, monthly or something. That will be a flat 9.9%.
Okay, 9.9% each time that purchase occurs, correct?
Yeah, correct, for each charge. The only other fee that is incurred is after your products are approved and have gone through our compliance and are approved, there's a one-time account activation fee of $49.95.
Okay, so in other words, to get any product up and running, activation fee of $49. And there's no Friends of Andrew program to reduce that?
That is the Friends of Andrew program.
Okay. Good. Avish, what am I missing here?
And that's per product or just one time for the account?
That's one time for the account, yeah. So you can, like I said before, you can have up to 500 products in that account. So it's not like where you have your own merchant account. You may have minimums, you may have monthly or annual fees. It's just the one time you're up and going.
Okay.
And so, I mean, there seems to me, Avish, to be, I don't know how. Now, again, talking very candidly, and I'm sure that Andrew hears this discussion, both pros and cons on this issue. Can you see reasons why or why not to stay within the ClickBank sort of structure for sales past the front end?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm
Andrew?
asking Avish.
Why we should or why we should not?
Yeah, either one. Pick it.
I mean, I would think that I feel like once they've made their first purchase on our list, we should certainly market them through our list. Seems to be would seem to make more sense just from a fee standpoint. But I'm all for marketing them any way we can. So
yeah, no, I
some
mean,
people make it off your list would still be in ClickBank. So
yeah, I'm just trying to think of if you candidly think that this, I can see benefit coming from. Now, Andrew, does the system continue to track various kinds of analytics that are associated? Once you have the customer in the system, we can then, if we send them to additional pages, all of that is obviously going to be tabulated to give us those analytics that we would have to compile on our own through other means, right?
That's correct, and we break it down by product, by customer, by flow. You can add individual tracking IDs if you want to run various campaigns. Any type of report that you can think of, we either have it readily available, or all you have to do is ask, and we can show you how to get there.
Okay, so now for Avish and I to maximize revenue using ClickBank as the channel to sell this product, what should we do? Should we go to the site and research other speaking-related products? And number one, how do we find out if that product is even viable on ClickBank?
Well, I would say that any information marketing product is a viable candidate for ClickBank. I really think this is the wheelhouse, this is the niche, this is what our people are doing. Is your question more on how to be successful within the affiliate network? Is that what you're looking to get at?
Well, I think that before, let's assume that we hadn't even started to market this product on our own, and we were looking to do some of our homework. Like, for example, if we decide, okay, we're going to be selling this product on ClickBank, my question is, well, what rate of commission should we giving? And obviously then we'd want to research the competition. How do we then go about, once we've decided to put this product on ClickBank, how do we figure out how to maximize revenue? What steps do we take?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's really easy to look at the competition. You don't even have to have an account or to log in. Go to clickbank.com.
Let me do that.
/marketplace.
Right here. Hold on, let me just do that. What is it? Clickbank.com
/marketplace.
Okay.
We have just over 30 categories, and I can't tell you how many subcategories, but every offer in our marketplace is here available to be viewed on the left-hand side if you scroll down there. And so you can see what commissions that they're paying out. So it's really easy for you to pick up your niche and to go through and see what everybody's doing.
Let's get specific, Andrew. Where do we go for? We're going to do a speaking product.
I think we're going to be under self-help.
Yeah,
Let me pull that up here.
Okay. So now, what do I do next?
Then there's a couple of different ways to filter and to sort if you're looking for something specific on the left-hand side. But if you scroll down, I mean, we let you break it down, whether it's language, whether it has upsells,
okay,
whether
let's get specific. Let's not get general. Let's do speaking. Show me how to do this.
Well, right. If you go on the left-hand side under the subcategory, there is a public speaking subcategory.
Okay, under self-help, public speaking.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
And so this will automatically rank them, and so you can see exactly what their percentages are, how much they're earning, affiliates are earning on the initial sale, whether or not they have rebills, what language they operate in.
Yeah, a bunch of these are Spanish. Most of them, well, 2 out of 6 are English. Yeah, so now, okay, so now we've looked at this, and there's this step up and public speaking and presentation secrets. Obviously, this program, as I know, is inferior to ours, so I'm going to try and figure out how would we then go about looking at this and making our decisions.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's going to be subjective because you don't have direct access through the to the vendor to ask them and to Q&A them. But you do have the statistics based on the current marketplace sales and what's happening. Those stats are based on a rolling 12-week basis, updated on a daily basis.
Okay, so talk to me. What are those stats? This is initial sale. Is this my commission here? This 3626.
Correct. Yeah, that's the initial earnings per sale for the affiliate there.
Okay. And what else?
They don't have an upsell. Otherwise, you would see a little icon there. They don't have recurring billing, so they don't have an additional offer that provides that continuity. And then the gravity there is it's a algorithm, corporate trademark. We don't release that. But the best explanation of this algorithm is it's an affiliate momentum score. So it takes into account all of the affiliates that are promoting this offer and how many sales that they're generating on a rolling 12-week basis.
Yeah, but
this number has no maximum.
Yeah, but I mean, in other words, it's from what to what?
Yeah, that's it. It can go from 0 all the way up to infinity. There is no maximum.
And I assume that the higher the number tells me that it's better?
Tells you that there's more affiliates promoting it and generating sales.
So it looks to me like a 1.9 is fairly pitiful.
Well, maybe on first glance, but that could also mean that they really don't want affiliates, or they're not using affiliates, recruiting them, and they're pumping their own traffic and doing well. That's highly possible.
Got it. Okay. So Avish,
that was a good point. You said they're not recruiting affiliates, so other than, I mean, I guess we can blast it out to our list and say, hey, if you want to make some money, you can join ClickBank, promote us this way. Is there any other, when you say recruit affiliates, is there other things that we should be doing, either through ClickBank or otherwise, to be recruiting affiliates?
Yeah, great question. So there's numerous ways through ClickBank. We have plenty of paid opportunities available for you. A lot of recruitment happens in Facebook groups, places like the Warrior Forum, industry events. That's really a lot of that's becoming a main place to go and look for that. So as of right now, to directly recruit and advertise, we do have paid opportunities throughout ClickBank, whether it's emails or display advertising on the site.
Okay.
Avish, keep shooting. I want you to get all these questions answered so that I don't miss any of them.
Fred, I'm sorry.
Nope.
I was going to say, Fred, Dave here. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can.
I have a few questions. I don't want to interrupt where you're going, but when you have a minute, I got a few for Andrew.
Avish, are you done, or you want Dave?
I'm done. So go ahead.
Okay, Andrew. Hey, Dave Hamilton here, and
Nice to meet you.
You too. One question I'd like to clarify, because when the whole concept of you can have 500 products on one account, one of the frustrations I felt, if I speak candidly, is that is true, but if you want a different hop link, you literally have to set up a different ClickBank account, a different login, and set it up through there. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's kind of what I was alluding to before, is you can have multiple products under one account, but for your landing page, your sales page, there's only going to be one page at one time for that account. Now, we do make it easier for you where when you open a second account and you open a third account, we do have a master account feature. I'm not sure if you're using that or if you're familiar with it, but we don't charge anything for it. It's basically, it provides you one place to log in to oversee those 3 accounts.
Okay.
So it does simplify your life a bit.
That's actually nice, but each different product, if I have product A, B, or C, each with a unique sales page, and each with a unique download page, it would require 3 ClickBank accounts and 3 of those $50 fees to set up each product. Is that pretty much how
you can set up different products within the same account and have your own sales page. It's just for the affiliates, you have one standard hop link sales page. If you want,
I got to tell you, I'm confused.
Yeah,
I'm thoroughly confused because I understand Dave's question, and I guess it makes me feel like the answer is it depends. Maybe it's kind of confusing to me.
Okay. Each account will have a standard hop link that an affiliate uses to send traffic to a landing page. you can only have one landing page per account at one time, so you would have to change that. You can feature multiple products on one page if you would like.
Which
That
is
is
which?
that is
Well,
possible.
let's be honest. Don't even interrupt. I mean that from a marketing standpoint is ridiculous.
Gotcha.
I mean,
So
I mean, because my line is always a confused mind always says no. And if you send me to a page that isn't strictly promoting one product or service, I'm going to go, oh, a lot of stuff. Bye. See you later.
gotcha.
So I mean,
So,
that's yeah. Dave, go ahead. Follow up.
well, and I've actually, in the past month or so, I've actually started with what you guys are talking about right here, the sales page of ClickBank, and I found that ClickBank is great because I don't have to worry about the merchant accounts. I don't have to worry about dealing with refunds, although I never have them, but just that you guys handle everything, including the affiliate account, it just makes it really easy. But that's something that I always, it was tough to get an answer, but I mean, and I'm just shooting straight, Andrew.
Hmm.
Like Fred says, for people in our field, we create a product and we create a sales page specific to that one product, and then we create the download page or a members access page or something, and it's all kind of one bundle: the product, the sales page, the download page. And if we go to a new product with a new product, new sales page, new download page, that's going to require a new ClickBank login. And if that's the way you guys do it, and that's fine. And it's, I still think it's worth it personally.
But Dave, what you're saying is you don't want to keep having to pay the $49 fee.
Yeah,
Well, it is discounted after the first time, but I still understand what you mean.
What's it discounted to?
29.
That's
So
not bad.
49 for number one, 29 for two, and further.
Ongoing.
Then it's free after that. Yeah.
So to get that discount, do you first have to tie it to a master account so that you know it's a different, so you know it's the second one?
No. Normally we'll do it because we're able to see how many accounts that you have from our end and stuff. So normally it's never an issue. It just happens automatically. At the time, if they don't catch it, you can always say, hey, I already have one. It's a non-issue.
And how is the system determining whether or not you already have one account to then discount you from 49 to 29?
Yeah, great. I don't think I'm giving away any trade secrets. We're able to link the accounts together on our end to see who's logging in for where and who has what. So it's something that's built into our end that you won't necessarily see.
Got it. Okay. Well, Dave, does that help a little bit?
Yeah, that makes it clear, and I think it's nice that you guys discount it, and it's nice that we can have a master account. Frankly, because what I was doing, I've got 3 products, and I was literally having to log out of ClickBank and then go log in over here, then log out and log in here, and I thought this can't be the right way to do all this.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Hey, Dave, send me an email, and I'm more than happy to show you the master account and kind of walk you through it if you'd like.
And what
Sounds
I think,
good.
this is, Andrew, something that when I show up in Boise at some point, I mean, this seems to me like something that there should be a learning center of video that explains exactly how to do this on the site. I'm sure that if that doesn't exist yet, it's probably going to be a future idea, I would think.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that this is especially for people who are serious, and I know, you guys want to get serious infopreneurs and information marketers to start doing this, and I think that this is a question that people who have more than one product, which is really going to be one of your big target markets, would want to know the answer to. So, Dave, you feel satisfied with what Andrew's told you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would like to continue the discussion, Andrew. There was one other thing that I was hoping maybe, Fred, we could visit a website and show you something. This is, I'm going to admit it, it's a bit of a shameless plug here, but I do have a question. Fred, if you jump to 7minuteminisites.com, one of the things that I've been working on, Andrew, is an easy way for people to put up a sales page that is quote-unquote ClickBank compliant. And I've got a system where you can pop these up, and they're all set to go. They have all the pages and settings. And Fred, if you go down right there and click on that sales, the sales page demo, this is a pre-built site. It's got sales page, all the plugins, the legal pages, and at the bottom it even has the ClickBank disclaimer, everything that I've had to figure out as we're setting them up. Does this look like something that you think would pass as an acceptable site and that people would find value in?
Yeah, I do. And you use this via Optimized Press?
It's a pre-built Optimized Press site that you upload with WP Twin, this tool, and then you have to have your own license to activate the site. So it's still secure. They can't use it without having.
I think that would be great. Hey, Dave, forgive me. Your voice sounds really familiar, and this product looks really familiar.
Well, Dave is one of my JV partners, Andrew, and so you've probably seen him because of some of the stuff that he and I think that Rafe and I talked, and he mentioned Dave. So Dave, because of his, so this is.
That's it. We have an ad for you on our page, don't we? We're running an ad right now.
On where?
On the ClickBank account.
This is because of my influence, Dave. Just to let you know.
Hey, you're the wind beneath my wings, Fred.
Let's show him where it is. Where can he see and get excited about this? If we take him to the home.
Well, I think it's a rotating ad, so if you log in, it's right behind the login, and it rotates, so you may have to refresh a couple of times.
I saw that too. I thought that was just in my account.
No.
Are we making any sales, Dave?
Well, the product is for Info Marketing 101.
Yeah.
There we go. That's it. Yep. And Fred's on your sales page, isn't he?
He is. I said he's the man. And here's the interesting thing with this, Fred. You and I had a talk about this months ago. I started this like a lot of my projects. I get 90% done, and then I just kind of let it sit. But the ClickBank side of it was set up. Well, about 3 weeks ago, I started getting sales.
Well, That's because I've established a little bit of a relationship here with these guys. So you're getting a little bit of that residual runoff effect.
Well, so you didn't realize there was an ad there?
No, not till I saw it. I didn't put it there.
They didn't reach out to you? Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought you guys worked that out.
No. And I put 75% commission. I think it sells for $47. And I put the highest commission, and a few people picked it up.
How many
and
sales
started
have been
selling
made?
it. What's that?
How many sales have been made? Is it like selling?
I think there's probably been about 20.
Nice.
So,
very cool.
Yeah, and the problem was I had to hustle and finish the product because people were buying it and going through the process. But it's a wish list protected course, just like what these guys were talking about. So I was very interested with what you're saying, but people would buy it. They'd go to a wish list login and then get access to the page. So this is all super relevant for what I'm.
And Dave, when we get off this call, you and I should have a little bit more of a conversation. But we're getting to the end of our time, and Andrew, I'm sure we'll have more of this. Avish, have you gotten a lot out of today?
I did. I think I'm ready to go and start setting stuff up in ClickBank now.
Excellent. So then, Dave, why don't you call me right when we get off? But I wanted to thank Andrew again for his help. And
my pleasure.
We will be.
If anyone has any questions, shameless plug, please email me. I have that ebook on why you should partner with ClickBank. So a couple people reached out. If you would like a copy, I don't harass you. I don't follow up or anything other than what you already want.
Okay.
What you may want.
Excellent, Andrew. Get in